Okay, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Okay, these glasses gonna give me a glare, so it's gonna like bother my soul. So I'm gonna take them off. I'm trying to look a little cute because I ain't got. But anyway, um, I don't know. I just see like this month, like I just see a lot of people posting like a lot of different relationship stuff and like domestic violence stuff and different things. And I said, well, why not? Why not me share my story? I don't know. I just been feeling like this has been like a lot on my mind, like a lot on my mind. I guess I guess when you don't deal with things and things are coming to the surface, it's kind of like you don't really have a choice but to kind of like deal with certain situations. And I guess this is my way of really dealing with it, because I've never really ever spoken about it. I think only one person really knows any of this, and that's my twin brother, because he actually was around when an incident occurred. But I've never, actually, this was the first time, honestly, that I've ever really accepted the fact that I was in a domestic, an abusive domestic relationship. Especially like when it first happened, you don't really, because you love this person so much and you feel like they love you so much as well, that you don't, I'm not gonna say it doesn't resonate with you, but you don't really accept it. You don't really accept it, especially me. I'm a dude. I pride myself as being like a man's man. Like I just pride myself on like just like I don't know, being a masculine dude. Like so I never like to really look at myself in like a weak position. Even if I'm being vulnerable and I'm crying or whatever it is that I'm doing, I never like to even consider that as me being weak. I feel like that's me being strong in a way. That's my opinion, whatever. That's just how I deal with things and see things. Yeah, I'm a guy, so I never really, even when I used to think about the situation and document it, because I felt like this is my truth, and I felt like it may come a point in time where things get out of hand, and what if something was to happen and I'm not able to speak for myself? I should have something in place where it's documented. So I guess just me even doing that, I never really thought too much on the situation. I guess because I wasn't ready to accept the fact that that's what was going on. And two, I wasn't, as a man, I wasn't at a place where I'm looking at like another male, another dude can like physically abuse me, because I'm not the type of person that would ever sit back and allow somebody to just like abuse me physically and I not do anything, especially fight back. That has nothing to do with it. You could be the type of person where you don't, you cut no slack, you don't play them type of games. And that's the type of dude that I've always thought that I was. I thought I was the type of dude that I'm not gonna accept certain things, especially me being a guy and dating other guys. It's just certain things that I'm just not gonna deal with and accept, And that was something that I am for the first time really accepting, which is weird because I never thought that it bothered me as much as it does. Like, like I would, like think about it every now and then, but and listen to certain things that like, when I would document the situation, a lot of times I would just go to my notes in my phone and just write down certain things or take certain pictures of like bruises and certain things and just basically put a date on it, like, okay, this happened this time. This, even me going back and looking at those things, it never really made me feel some type of way until now, when I really, now that I'm out of the situation and I'm now starting to heal. I think about it, and to be able to heal, I know that I gotta accept it and go through those things. Well, enough about all of that. I guess let me get into the situation. I was in a long-term situation for 5 years. Not just in a relationship, but married. And the first time he ever like put his hands on me, was he was in the bathroom. We were getting ready to go somewhere. I can't remember where. And you know, I was just goofy, my goofy normal self, just playing around. Just playing around. We had an argument the night before over him still being in communication with his ex. And the next morning, I was in a good mood. I'm a go-lucky, happy person. I'm a morning person, so when I wake up, I'm never really in a bad mood. I'm usually always in a good mood in the morning time, especially when I wake up. I just look at life as precious, and you know, why spend your time having an attitude of being angry upon waking up? So I just look at it as a blessing to even be alive. So I'm a morning person. I'm not the type of person that wake up with attitude. Well, he woke up and I guess he had an attitude. I did not know that. He was brushing his teeth. I went to the bathroom and was just basically playing with him. Like, I think I started poking him in his side, and before I could even blink, he like punched me like dead in my face. Like, speaking about it, man, it's disgusting. It's like, in my opinion, it's the nastiest thing that you can do to somebody or put somebody through. He punched me like in my face, and I'm like, you know, when something happens and you're surprised, you're shocked, so you don't really have a reaction, you kind of like stuck. That's how I was. I was just like, you know, I really didn't know how to take it. You know, I didn't know how to process that, because it hurted. And so much to the fact of, I had broken my job before, been in a physical altercation with somebody. And so when he did that, my job popped out of place. I really didn't know how to handle that situation. I didn't know what to do about that. I was confused. So when he did that, I just walked away. I left. I think I went in the bedroom and I sat down at the edge of the bed, because at the time I had a platform bed. It was like low to the ground, so I just like sat on the edge of the bed and I just started thinking, like, did he just wait? Like, he just really popped me in my face, like. And I just remember getting angry. Like, I just got so angry, and I'm like, did he really just do that? And I think I got up. I don't think. I got up, and I went to the bathroom, and I can just remember, I just started swinging. Because at that point, I felt taken advantage of, especially since we had just went through a little something that he was doing behind my back, you know. And we just started fighting. And my twin brother was over. And we ended up from the bathroom to the bedroom. I had like a mirror above my bed. Mirror fell, shattered glass everywhere, bed on the ground. Like, it's off of his legs. I'm like, you know, we in a living room, pillows everywhere, cotton is everywhere, until we finally end up downstairs in the back seat of his car. And I used to be at a place where, you know, those begging and pleading stages where You know, it's you're in a toxic situation and you feel like you need them. So any ounce of them leaving is like, no, don't go. I need you. No matter what is going on, no matter if we're in a situation right now, I need you. That's just how I used to be, and that's how I ended up. We ended up in the back seat of his car, and you know, cause he's getting ready to go. He wants to leave, and I'm just like, no, don't leave. I'm sorry. Blah 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 blah, whatever. And I hop in the back seat of his car, like I'm not about to get out until I'm not gonna let you leave, type of situation. And he just started attacking me, like he just started like physically assaulting me, like, and I'm just like, I'm not a weak dude that can hold my own, but when you're a significant other, and he's bigger than me, mind you, I might be a little, a little muscular or whatever, just a little bit, but he was like bigger than me, so the blows hurted, like it hurt, like I can't even lie, like as much as I tried to eat it, it hurt, but he started to basically pull me out of the back seat. But before that, like he just physically like assaulted me. And my brother never really got in the middle of my relationship, but this was the first time that something had physically happened and he's present. Even if I told him about something, he never did get in the middle of it. He kind of let us handle our situation. But I guess because he was there and he saw the situation himself, he jumped in. My brother not a person that really likes altercation. So I knew for him to say something to my ex, like, like, dude, like, if you don't stop, like, I'm finna have to get involved, because at that point, I was screaming and yelling, like, get off of me, stop, leave me alone, just like, what is wrong with you? Because I have self-control. I know I may lose it, I may get mad, but at some point in time, my senses come and I'm just like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not even worth it. And I think I was just like done, and I was tired, I was done. I was just like bawling, like, leave me alone, like, get off of me, stop it. And after my brother said what he said to him, he finally just like let me go, and I got out. I went upstairs and he left. And that was that. The next situation was a situation after he proposed to me. Yeah, he proposed to me, and I stopped wearing my engagement ring because I had overgrown it. When he bought it, he didn't have my finger. He didn't have the ring size, which my ring size is size 8. He got the ring, I think, a size and a half too big or something like that. But anyways, I wore it for a while, but after a while, I gained a little bit of weight and it kind of got stuck. And so I took it off, and once I finally got it off, it took a while. Once I finally got it off, I just didn't put it back on. And because we were going through things, and then I felt like, man, this doesn't even represent the fact of what we have, so why should I even wear it? Like, I got people coming up to me asking me, you engaged, you get married, are you married, this, that, and the third, and I'm lying because I'm just ashamed of the type of situation that I'm in at the time. But he got mad, he got angry because, and I'm still looking at my finger like it's on there, but he got mad and angry because I had taken it off and had worn it, and he saw somebody in my inbox on Facebook trying to basically talk to me. Well, he couldn't say that I was trying to talk to them because I was not responding. That's just how I was. I'm faithful. Like, I don't, whatever. I didn't feel the need to respond to even give anybody any type of time of day, even entertain anybody, because people will take the smallest things and blow them out of proportion. And I just didn't want that for my situation. So, I just didn't wear it. And he saw somebody trying to talk to me, and I told them, the situation I was in, and They were like, you lying, you know, I don't see no ring on your finger. And soon as he saw that, he grabbed me. And when he grabbed me by my hair. Anybody knows when somebody, you know, if you got long hair, real hair, natural hair, from the root, when somebody grab your hair, that is painful, that hurts. So he grabbed me by my hair and just started punching me, punching me. And you know what? It was at a point where it couldn't have been nothing but rage and anger, because he was hitting me like my face, the top of my head. It didn't matter. He was just hitting me. So I'm like yelling and screaming, like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like, you just full on just attack me. Like, what is your issue? He grabbed me by my hair. He punching me, you know, choking me out, doing all this crazy stuff. So I'm like, what? Like, what is your issue? What is wrong? And, you know, he just going off like, you know, you stupid, you know, you dummy, like, you think that you finna be talking to somebody and I'm not gonna find out, and yeah, you got all this going on behind my back, you a hoe, you can't be trusted, I can't trust you, I should've never trusted your stupid ass, just saying all kinds of different things to me. And I'm just really like, wait, hold on, like, you clearly see that somebody is in my inbox trying to talk to me, and I'm telling them that I'm in a marriage with you. So how does that in any type of way initiate you to beat me? Like, are you like, what's your problem? It like, I don't know, like, you know, kind of like, it had gotten to a point to where we would like go out of town and go on trips, and we would end up fighting way out of state. And I got to a point where I just didn't, you know, I've always felt like he was gonna like really hurt me, because when your significant other is physically abusive towards you, it's an anger that you can't really describe. I don't know where it comes from, where it stems from, but to a point to where at the time they have no self-control at all, and it's scary. Like, I used to be thinking, man, this dude is gonna kill me. Like, he's gonna get so mad till he either hits me the wrong way, or, which my ex had a gun. He had his gun license, so he carried a gun. So I'm like, you know, he's either gonna be so pissed off to where he shoots me, or I get to a point to where I'm, you know, defenseless, trying to defend myself, or I just get fed up and just shoot him and kill him. So it's just like, whatever is whatever. This situation is gonna end up bad once it ends. And I used to think like, this dude is gonna kill me. Like, he's gonna literally choke me out or do something to me, and nobody will ever know what happened. You know, because like, nobody really knew what it was that I was going through. Until I just got fed up. Like, I got tired. Like, number one, and I'm gonna keep this story short because I have company coming over, so I know I can't talk too long, but I would neglect my family, my friends, my siblings, like, because I didn't want them to see me with scars or bruised. I bruise easily. I didn't want them to see me bruised up. I didn't want them to see me with a black eye. I think I had a black eye like 3 times. I didn't want them to see me almost to the point to where I have permanent scars, almost like permanent scars. Like, it's certain places in my face where I have permanent scars, and this is one of them. This was one of them. And like, it's kind of like I have like these I wouldn't say dark circles because they don't go around my entire eye, but kind of under my eyelids, it's a little dark, and I feel like, you know, it stems from that. But I didn't want them to see what was going on because I could lie all day long, whatever. But if they're looking at me and they clearly see that somebody done whooped my ass, like you know what I mean? Sorry, like I think about it. I'm still at a point where I think about it and that, it still kind of like make me feel some type of way. But I didn't want to be around them and they saw that and they looked at me as a weak person because I know that they've always looked at me as being a strong individual. And so I didn't want them to look at me as being weak. Especially because I'm that sibling that, all my siblings come to and rely on, and, they come to me for advice, they come to me for this, they come to me for that. So I kind of consider myself to be the older sibling. And so I didn't want them to look at me any different. And so I would stay away from my family. I would stay away because I know if they knew, they would do whatever it was that they can to make sure that I'm safe, number one, and I get out of that situation. But I neglected for years. Like I neglected my family. I stayed away, all kinds of stuff. Until I just got tired, and I was like, man, like somebody's gonna end up like calling the police, and he's gonna end up going to jail. And at that time, I didn't. Of course, stupid, I didn't want nothing to happen to him. So I was like, still protecting him. And I guess until this day, I guess you could say I was protecting him because I never really spoke about it. I never said anything to anybody about it. The only person who knew about this situation was my brother. And, it came to a point where when he would put his hands on me, I started to fight back. Like, I just got mad one day and I was like, this is not worth it. Like, Then to him, like, you a dude, I'm a dude too. Hold up, we finna square up. It wasn't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. I was just like, my first adult relationship, I was like all in. I was all in. I could say honestly that I had given everything that I have inside of me to that situation. So fighting back for what? And then too is control. Like, he would like hit me and like attack me and beat me and then be crying and like apologizing. And I felt like, I don't know, like you feel like that's love. Like you feel like it's crazy because you have that mentality. Like, as crazy as it sounds, he's apologizing, he's crying. He really does love me, Maybe this is love. Maybe this is something that happens when you're in a relationship. Maybe it's a phase. I even thought that maybe it was a phase. It's something that, happens when you're in relationships and, you both love each other just that much. Maybe it's just something that happens. But after I got older and I started to realize, like, this isn't love. Like, somebody that's physically harming you, that's not love. Like, in no way, shape, or form this could be love, especially when on the bathroom floor, I got blood running out of my mouth because my jaw is dislocated and I gotta physically pop my jaw back into place. Because if I go around the corner to the emergency room, they're gonna wanna know, how did my jaw get out of place in the first place? And then I'm already bruised up, face swollen, I got scratches in my face, black eye. They gonna already know that I got in some type of altercation and they're gonna want to investigate that. So I said I can't even do that. Like, I gotta just deal with the situation. I remember calling out of work because I'm sore, calling out of work because I got a migraine, calling out of work because I got black eyes, and I don't want, I remember lying to one of my coworkers like, no, I just got the pink eye. No, I don't have the pink eye. This nigga done beat my ass to the point to where, excuse my French, but to where my eye like is bleeding, and on top of that I got a black eye and my eye swollen. No, I've never had the pink eye. Don't know how I could have gotten exposed to the pink eye. So I just remember like always lying, and you get to a point where you get tired of lying. Number one, number two, you run out of lies. You run out of lies, and you realize that this is not the type of situation I need to be in. And then you look at other people, you look at your close relatives, your friends, your family that are in loving relationships with people that love them and treat them how they should be treated. And you look at your situation and you say, why am I in this? Like this is not what, my grandmother always said, love is what it does. And I didn't understand that until I got older and I became an adult in an adult relationship. This ain't love, man. Like, love wouldn't beat my ass. Like, love is not gonna have me bruised and battered and, begging and pleading for my life, for you to stop attacking me and all kind of different stuff. Like that's ain't no way, shape, or form is that love. Like, and I don't know. I just feel like, you can be with anybody. You can be with somebody younger than you, and you end up going through physical abuse. But I was with an older guy. He was older than me, so I felt like, not that he was my dad, but he had some type of influence over me as far as him being older and me being younger. So I just felt like it was something that I should just deal with, but it's nothing nobody should deal with, or ever have to go through. And I said, look, I can't, man. Look, I have little sisters. Like, I have other young dudes, other young guys looking up to me, that are in same-sex marriages and different things. So I can't live a double life. I can't be telling them one thing, you can't be with somebody like this, you can't be with somebody like that. When all along I was talking about my ex, who, when I would be telling them, you don't need to be with this type of person, that type of person. You with somebody doing this, doing that to you, you should not be with them. All along I was talking about my ex. Until I said, how can I be telling them how they should not live their life, but how can I give them advice if I'm not even taking my own? And so that was like the moment where I really opened my eyes. Not only was I physically abused, but he was sometimes sexually abuse me too. Like, it would always be after the physical. But I have this scar. Like, I don't even think I've ever showed this scar to my brother. But I have this scar. It is right. I think it's right. Yeah, it's right here. You probably can't really see it, but he actually stabbed me. I always used to keep like a pocket knife like right by my bed, just in case of an emergency. And he knew it was there. He got mad because I didn't want to have sex, but who wants to have sex with somebody who just physically assaulted you? I felt like shit. I felt like nothing. I felt unattractive. I felt like nothing, and I was just not in that space. And I told him no, and he didn't want to hear that. So he tried to have sex with me, and I kind of fought him like that was just something that I just couldn't, because I had been sexually assaulted before. I was junior high school, gun held to my head, held against my will for like a whole 24 hours. Just different things that he knew, and I had told him. And the fact that I could tell you this, and you know that this is something that I went through, and you would do the same thing, like, that's what really, like, that's what took a lot out of me. Like, that's what really messed me up, to the fact of I didn't like sex, or it just wasn't something that, it wasn't something that I needed, I guess you could say. Because of that, I just didn't value it. And he got mad, and he grabbed a knife, and he was like, well, if I can't have you, then nobody else gonna have you. And I just remember fighting, and he stabbed me. And when he stabbed me right there. And I just remember gasping for, gasp for air, because I was just so shocked, like, and it hurted so bad. But I just remember grabbing my sheets and just like trying to stop the bleeding. I was just so tired, like so mentally, physically exhausted. If anything, physically exhausted, to the point to where I could not even, like, I didn't even feel like getting up, like, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that he would not allow me to go somewhere. He would not allow me to go to the hospital. He would not allow me to go anywhere. So, I had to deal with that at the house. Of course, he felt guilty, I guess. It was guilt. I don't know. Maybe he was scared, but, he helped me take care of that. But I don't know. And then sometimes too, I just kind of felt like maybe he controlled me because he wanted me all to himself. Like, I just don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. But I'm glad that I just talked about just a little bit of the situation. Because honestly, it's like the first and last time that publicly I'm gonna talk about it, because they say, how can a wound heal if you keep picking at it? I'm done picking at these wounds, especially this big wound I got right here. I'm like tired of picking at it. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm done. At some point in time, you gotta just let things go. You gotta let things be, and you gotta look at them as a learning lesson. I'm out of the situation. It's a lot of people that did not make it out, and I guess I can make this video today because, not even last night, but yesterday, I just came home, and for the first time ever, I was on my bedroom floor, like clenching my chest, because I was just bawling uncontrollably and could not stop. But I was just thinking about where I could be, I was thinking about I could be dead right now. You know what I'm saying? And then I even just think about a lot of the people that don't have a chance to speak on it, didn't have a chance to make it out. You know what I'm saying? You really think about that, and it really hits you hard. If you're somebody that ever been through this type of situation, it hits you hard. And it's my season to heal. I guess, it's my season to heal. And, I had to really confront that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, you come to terms with things in such a goofy way, but that's just my way of dealing with it, I guess. That's just my way of trying to be optimistic and trying not to really let different things really, break my spirits, because I've let a lot of different things break my spirits for so long. I'm at a place where I just want to allow that to happen. I cry my tears. I may boo-hoo cry. I may be on the bathroom floor, the bedroom floor, the kitchen floor, whatever. But I make sure that I do what I have to do to be okay. And it is what it is, I'm at peace, honestly, because I remember the last video I said that I was in peace, but I was not in peace. But right now I'm in peace. I've dealt with things. I've cried like I've never cried before the last few days, and I've just allowed myself to just let it go. Like, stop trying to hold it back. Just let it out. Let it go, finally. And I feel so much better. I feel healthier. I'm able to go in and have my cancer treatments and do what it is that I have to do. And I feel like that is something that was holding me back from really feeling like I was getting my full potential, in especially with that situation. So, if me saying all of this helps somebody, then that's all the better. I mean, if anything, if I could help somebody, if I could, if somebody could see the situation I went through and know that they weren't by themselves, and most importantly, because I feel like there's not really a lot of awareness brought to the situation, a lot of people don't really speak on it, but when you're in same-sex situations, those can be some of the most domestic violent situations that you could ever be in. And don't think just because I'm a dude, don't think just because somebody else might be a dude who dates guys, or you might know a female who's dating another female. Like, don't think that just because people are in same-sex situations, they don't end up in violent domestic situations, because they do. They do. You know what I'm saying? It's not just straight heterosexual relationships. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm at peace. And I mean that, and I can say that and mean that. I am at peace to where I could talk about it, and I'm not as emotional as I would normally be. And that lets me know I've approached and came into some sort of peace. I may not be 110%, as I like to say, completely at peace and completely healed, but with time, all wounds heal. So that's all I'm giving it is time. That's all I can allow is time to come in and do his thing, and trust in God, trust and believe in God, and allow him to come into my life, direct me and change me and just make me feel better. So I'm just enjoying the process and allowing myself to go through it. And you should too, because it'll make you feel better, much better too. I guarantee you. But as I always say, be in peace and not in pieces. Y'all stay safe. Like, be safe. Like,